4 points. You may have heard of 4 points as a Feldenkrais theme, one of Moshe Feldenkrais's favorite concepts. Basically, when we look at ground forces, as we've been talking about this in the last few weeks, as we're looking at support from the ground up, when we lie down on the floor, you know, various parts of ourselves make contact with the floor, and we look at that. We look at the ribs, we look at the legs, arms, head, and then we see how when we move, different parts make contact with the floor, and how it shifts as the lesson progresses. Okay, and this attention, these details can really come in very handy, can improve the way we're organized tremendously. And then when we stand and walk, these are the 2 points. In 4 points, it means that both the hands and the feet are on the floor. And if only one hand is on the floor, of course, it's 3 points. Or if you lift one leg and put both hands and one leg on the floor, that would be also 3 points. So it's a very simple, very simplistic concept, yet it's very interesting as you move around to just play with that as an idea, as opposed to paying a lot of attention to how we move, right? We move comfortably, but we use those points as sort of like a challenge, a game, right? So I want to use, there are many 4 points lessons, and they're fascinating, and we may come back to some of them in the future. But for now, for today, I just want to show you a way that how I like to get down to the floor and back up, okay? And that way is my favorite way. It's not necessarily the correct or the best way. It's just a way that I really enjoy doing it, because I do get down to the floor very often every day. So it's just a very simple, soft, easy way of doing it. Okay? So let's look. This is how it looks. Right? So, come to think of it, when I sit now on the floor, I do have 4 points. I have my 2 sitz bones and the sides of both legs. That makes 4 points. If I were to come back the same way, I would lean into this hand and lift this sitz bone, right? As I lean into this hand, I can bring this foot to stand, keep this foot on the floor, so I have 1, 2, 3, and this sitz bone, the right sitz bone, because the left is just lifted as I leaned over, right? So I can count the points of contact with the floor and play with it. 4, 5, 4, and 2. 2, 4, and again 4. I can be fancy with it. I can play with just 3 points. I can play with 2 points. So a lot of lessons make use of these ideas, but again, just a simple way of doing it. Bending all the way down, you know, not getting down to the floor like this, which is very taxing and kind of a little bit dangerous for your knees. I can fake it, I can do this, but I can feel the strain in my knees. If I do this, the quality of ease that I feel as I do this. You know, I let all the flexors, all of the muscles in the front of my body just relax. And of course, as I bend down, they relax, but they're engaged very softly. But the muscles in the back of myself, the extensors, are definitely letting go because I'm bending forward, right? So everything is quite relaxed as I do this. And because I know what I'm doing, it allows me to work with this very, very comfortable, soft, evenly distributed tone, right? And that swivel that I do makes it even more so, right? It looks so easy. And some of you may be ready for this. Some of you may need a little bit of work to figure out your way through this, right? But If you're wondering if it's reversible, I think you can see it is reversible. It's a very comfortable movement, sort of a classic example of biological fitness, because you can stop at any given moment in the movement and reverse it. So I hope you play with it. I hope you have fun with it. Send me your questions, your comments, and I will see you next time.